అక్కడ ఉంటే ముందు అక్కడ తాగేసి ఆ బ్యాస్మెంట్ చాలా తింటే ఏం చేద్దాం ఆలోచన. ఓకే చూద్దాం. అందరూ ఇంజనీర్స్ మీరు? నేను యాక్చువల్గా మెకానికల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ కానీ ఐటీలో చేస్తాను. ఫైనాన్స్ నేను ఐటీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. ఐటీ సైట్ అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి.
నెక్స్ట్ దాని కూడా ఉందండి. ఇండియా ఇంకా 6 o'clock ఇంకొక షో ఉంటుంది. టాకింగ్ టు యంగ్ సైంటిస్ట్ who is just printed filed a patent for 3D printing sensors. ఈవెన్ బయట స్నాక్స్ ఉంటాయి.
అరేంజ్ చేస్తాం బయట.
లేదు అరేంజ్ చేస్తాం. సెషన్ అయిపోయినప్పుడు బయట రెడీ ఉంటాయి. ఇది 4 కదా 5:30 అయిపోతుంది. అంటే జనాలు వస్తారు కదా అని వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నాము. స్టార్ట్ All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Diwakar, CEO of LGV Private Limited, and I'm volunteering with Andhra University Incubation Council, hosting this show. Welcome to Startup Saturdays, a forum for innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, and other startup enthusiasts. Since it is looking like it's going to rain, probably people are delayed a little bit, but there was a lot of interest in this particular session today. Because of the topic that we have. So I'm expecting a few more to show up. This forum is organized by AHUB and our partners. AHUB is an independent Section 8 company constituted within Andhra University. AHUB has a two-part mission. One, it is a regular incubator with all the usual support services of an incubator. Two, it also leads the institution's Innovation Council of Andhra University. In its second role, AHUB promotes and encourages innovation and entrepreneurship among students, faculty on campus. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourselves. A quick round. We don't have a mic that works, right? You can probably hear each other. Just quickly, your name, affiliation.
Myself, Vasudhara. So years I have taken from my street and the Makkad region. I work in production environment and IT environment. That way, basically metallurgical.
I'm K. Kameswara. That's Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. Recently, I've taken BRS. I worked in IT and ERP department for more than 30 years. Yeah.
We'll get to know each other well.
Hi, I'm Sharma, Kamish Sharma. I'm basically a materials engineer and I was working as a DGM corporate strategy earlier. In corporate offices, I have experience of almost 20-25 years experience in corporate offices. Production planning and monitoring, EPC, what you call it. So I have, yeah, and did a program in international business. Thank you.
Hi everyone, myself
By the way, you don't have to stand. This is not a classroom. I'm sorry. I should have said that earlier.
So myself Abhishek Patnaik. So I am the founder of Velconics Technology. So recently we done a registration and MS. So this is a AI powered checkout system, like for shopping malls and department store. So I came here for some networkings and meet some mentors. Thank you.
Also, myself Siddharth. I did work for Intel for 8 years in US, and I done my MBA as well, my masters. And I recently came back to start something on my own. So I'm looking for networking and some mentors like you or you okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charita. I'm an intern at our hub.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Shivani. I'm a business analyst at AI company and also a social media internet outlet.
Please కూర్చోండి పర్వాలేదు నిమిషం.
Good evening, one and all. Myself, my name is Dr. Vijayarani. I'm the faculty and SME of Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Andhra University, SDU, Online. And I'm the founder and director of Vijayasri Arts Academy since 1991, with Dance and Music Institute. I have 35 years of teaching experience. I'm the member of AAA, which is Andhra University Alumni Association. Once again,
Yeah, myself, Dr. Sunil. I'm a professor in Geetham University, Visakhapatnam. So, civil department. So, I was having 15 years of experience. So, I'm also an alumni of Andhra University. I've done my PhD from Andhra University. Thank you.
A very warm welcome to all the speakers, guests, and attendees. Not to forget Pranav, who is volunteering here as a technical assistant. Thank you for joining us today. This forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone, and we hope you will take full advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. Show Me the Money is the first segment. This is a segment where Charita, our grants management intern, presents details about one grant and provides dates and few details of few other sources of money. Technical Talk is the main segment of this show. Each session has a different topic, bringing in experts sharing their experience and expertise. Pitching your startup is the third segment. We have a slot for you to pitch your company. Regardless of the stage you're at, it is always good to be practicing your pitch, repeatedly selling yourself and your company. Is there anyone ready to pitch? Today, we don't have any startups that contacted me. Then we have idea pitches. Slots for ideas are always available. So if you have an idea you want to share, please go ahead and share it when the time comes. And it can only get better if you share with some feedback. Then we have open mic session. If someone feels inspired and wants to share an idea, this is the place to share and get some feedback. Any thoughts are also welcome during that segment. We put in the effort to organize these and we are having fun doing so. The more you engage, the more you derive. That's been the mantra all along. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while the speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from crosstalk or side conversations. They are distracting. If you're pitching today, you have a presentation, please send it to me or Pranav. It will keep the program on track and avoid unnecessary technical delays. We run a tight program. Kindly note that a pitch is allotted a maximum time of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes for presentation and 3 to 4 for question answers. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. We request the audience to reserve your questions for the designated Q&A period, but if the speaker engages you in Q&A during their presentation, please follow their lead. Now, Charita is here with the second part of a presentation on venture capital as a source of financial resources for startups. She has been systematically covering various sources of funding for startups. Since she only has 10 minutes here, she is writing a blog post following each one. We've been working on those blog posts. They're not up, but we are working on those. They will be up soon. They'll all be published on her website, which right now is on our website. We'll talk about that later. Charita, please show us some money.
Oh, I have to open that. All kinds of technical delays happen exactly when we hold on. Just the RSP, don't touch anything.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charita. I'm an intern at AHA. And since the past few sessions, we've been dealing about different sources of funding available for startups in India. So we've discussed multiple startup sources for funding. So today it's the second session of venture capital. So in the last session, we dealt about the investment cycle of a venture capitalist and what they look for in a startup and how do you approach them and what are the pros and cons of venture capital funding. So today we're going to discuss about the importance and how do you communicate or what do they want in a while communicating and what to choose for what is right for your startup. So starting with importance. So venture capitalists provide you not only with capital but also expertise and network. So they don't just give you funding, but they also teach you like they're more experienced people than you are in the fund startup ecosystem. So they know how do you approach them or what do they need in a particular startup. Like why will they fund in them? And they also have bigger network, and they monitor your performance and they also help you and guide you at particular stages when you don't know what to do next or like how do you approach them or like VCs are just not going to be your only source of funding, but you're also going to choose multiple investors or multiple clients, customers, and all. How do you approach them? And they also help you in sourcing your deals. So having a venture capital venture capitalist with you is going to help you in building credibility. So an investor or a client can know that okay, they have a good trusted venture capitalist, so that I can trust them. So it's a source of validation. And they also guide startups in the right path. So, and communication skills while you're raising funds for VCs. So first, investor pitches. So there's not just one type of pitch available for presenting. You have multiple pitches. So some investors might come to you and say, okay, you have 1 minute, present your company to me. So you have to be ready for that in elevator pitches and also pitches where you have 10-15 slides and giving each and giving very expanded explanation for all your company. So you have to be prepared for any circumstance and get ready your investor pitches. They can be just a minute for like even an hour. And you have to have a vision. So VCs don't just help for like a company. They also like the narrative behind it, your vision. Why did you start the company? What are you aiming for? What is your end motive? What is your whole objective? They don't just want a product or a service, they also want your whole vision and objective behind it. So you have to be a good storyteller while putting forward your pitch or your product. And then handling rejections. You should also be able to handle rejections. Not everybody is going to say no. And everybody will just, if an investor says no, they also have a reason behind it. They also are going to give you a feedback why they said no. So you have to be ready to handle all the rejections and take the feedback in a positive note. And you might use them or you might not use them. But you have to learn how to handle rejections. And also, when a venture capitalist or like an investor says no, they don't mean no forever. They might mean no for now. Okay, at this point of time, I don't like the way your product is going. Maybe meet me in the future. So you have to be ready to take all the feedbacks and project them into your startup. And we've discussed about why we should choose a VC. And now we are going to see why we shouldn't choose a VC if you're for a company if you're not okay with this. So where you're going to give some amount of control to the venture capitalist, not only in terms of equity but also in terms of decision making power. And there's going to be a lot of performance pressure from the venture capitalists because their motive while is also going to be profits. It's also going to be when I going to exit the venture capitalist, when I going to give it to IPO. So yeah, if you're not able to do like a high performance pressure, you shouldn't choose VC. And there's going to be a very big legal and financial agreements present. There's a whole different side to getting agreements done with a VC. And if you think your particular startup is not okay, like the vision of your startup and the vision of the venture capital is not aligning, you must reconsider your choice of the venture capitalist. And we have three different, today we're going to say about three different sources of funding and what do you choose at which stages. So you can choose a venture capitalist if you're a scalable tech startup. Let's say you can see your startup growing in the future, like you can get a lot of technological advancements and breakthroughs, then you could choose venture capitalists. And if you need a lot of funding for R&D or prototyping and acquisition, etc., you can use venture capitalists. And if you're okay with giving up some amount of control or decision-making power or equity to venture capitalists, then you could choose this. And if you in the future, if your main aim is to get an IPO or like get an acquisition, then you should choose venture capitalists. And if you are a company who has an ideation stage or has an MVP as a product, you could choose angel investment. Or if you need mentorship and even a small capital, just smaller capitals compared to venture capital. And if you're okay in raising big rounds, testing product market before you give up for big rounds. And if you want to retain full control and grow at your own pace, and if you if you are a company which is based on services and which can get money faster from the market or from the customers, then you could choose bootstrapping. And if you're okay with a slow scaling business, and if you don't want any external pressure or accountability for exit and an IPO, you could choose bootstrapping. At the end, there are multiple sources of funding available for your startup. Venture capital is just one of those, and not everybody can go. Not every startup has any particular fixed route for which funding source you have to pick. There's no right funding mix for. There's no fixed funding mix for any startup. So you could choose which one is correct for your company. What would you like to go for first? What would you like to go for second? Even though venture capital is a very powerful catalyst, and their main sources is to scale quickly or to mentor you or to give you network. But in the long term, their main end would be profits. So you should choose your suitable source of funding. And today, this is a grant I'm presenting again. So I think they end them in June and again start them around August or September. So I think the last rounds are going right now. So the UNICEF Venture Fund is looking to invest in open frontier technologies, which have a potential to create radical change for children. And they're looking for sectors in AI, machine learning, or blockchain. and they're ready to give about 100K USD dollars equity fee funding. And that is the website given on screen if anybody wants to take a picture. So thank you. If you have any more queries or suggestions, you could contact the team at AHUB or email us. Thank you.
Thank you, Charita. So this segment has been evolving over the last several months, and the way this was conceptualized is AHUB as an incubator supports startups in finding some funding. We don't have a lot of funding at AHUB to give out as grants, but what we are trying to do at AHUB is to figure out what is a good match for you as a startup. Everybody needs money. That is a given. So what kind of funding is the best match for where your startup is what we are trying to help with. There are lots of sources of money out there. Tapping them is not that easy or that straightforward. So there is some work involved in trying to get to the funding. So that is what Charita is trying to put together over time. So let's move on to the main part of today's session. Before I invite today's speaker, a few words about our feature session. If you're wondering how we pick our speakers for these technical sessions, here is a brief explanation. We focus at 4 levels to explore entrepreneurship, bring you the best of ideas and depth of understanding. We look at the individual, the company, the sector, and the ecosystem. Each level has a distinct set of challenges and opportunities, suitable set of skills and resources, and provides a level of understanding of entrepreneurship. If you are already an entrepreneur, these talks will help you understand the journey. If you are considering it or just exploring, these talks will give you a great intro into the journey. Today we will focus on a sector. Dr. Sunil, who is today's speaker, has been working with tile dust to create useful building materials. It's been a journey of research and entrepreneurship. He is also interested in many other forms of waste that can be used. He earned his PhD in civil engineering from Andhra University, and he is someone I would consider a classic example of faculty entrepreneur. Not necessarily interested in starting or running a commercial venture, but is well on his way to play key roles in such ventures. We heard from another professor with similar profile but in biotechnology a couple of sessions ago. University faculty with access to the bright young minds year after year are uniquely placed to push the envelope on innovation. Let's hear from Dr. Sunil on how he is doing it and the opportunities he sees for startups in the field of waste to wealth. Dr. Sunil, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon all. Watching.
This is highly watched after session అయిపోయిన తర్వాత చాలా మంది చూస్తారు.
Yeah. So good afternoon all. So I think it's because of the rain. I think a lot of people have not attended. So I also posted in my WhatsApp group also and LinkedIn also. So I got so many messages that any offline or online program is there. I think waste is one kind of thing which is definitely we are hearing everywhere. So definitely we can, as per Divakar sir have told, nowadays research is going on something on how to create waste in terms of getting wealth actually. So I think my session will completely focus on different kind of waste where it can create a lot of employment opportunity as a company, as an thing and all. So since I'm from building sector, so I taken an application of building perspective. Okay. So I think yeah, so this is my flow of my presentation. So I think I'll talk on what are the kind of waste generations in India and what are the challenges in construction sector and my product innovation which I've done for my PhD and what are the kind of opportunities will be there in a field of entrepreneurship actually. So when I was started my journey as an PhD, I thought of not becoming an academician. Like I want to create some kind of I want to start my company after my PhD. That is my intention of doing my PhD. See, research is done everywhere. So how you project your research is definitely plays a very crucial role. So this is a waste generation problem in India. I think some of the audience people are coming from Visakhapatnam steel plant and all. So I think you have listened about industries about waste and all. So I think mostly steel plant also will generate lot of iron slag. So then fly ash. Yeah. So these are some of the kind of waste which is available in a local kind of vicinity actually. So I think India, coming to India, how much of the waste it is generating? Around 1,33,000 tons of solid waste per day actually. So you think how much waste is there? And approximately 91,000 tons is collected and 25,000 is around tons is treated. Okay. So I think the solid waste, if you take in India, it ranges from approximately, if you go for a small towns like tier 3 cities will tell, okay, villages, all these places, it is around 0.17 kg per person. Okay, what is what is the population of India right now? It is 140 crores, but every person is generating almost all 0.17 kg per day. Okay, and if you go for a small, if you go for a cities like tier 1 and tier 2 cities, Visakhapatnam comes under tier 2 city. So I think it is generating around 0.62, like main metro cities and all. Okay, so I think what are the kind of waste generation things which are available in most of the kind of locally available places? I think you have coal burst residue, then bagas, then I think municipal solid waste, then lot of things are there. The fly ash is one of the kind of waste which is generated. Then I think iron slag we are converting into GGBS. I think lot of waste, bottom ash also I have seen in steel plant. So I think lot of waste is there, but definitely we can use this waste to develop some kind of prototype or a product. Okay, so it creates a lot of kind of opportunity. See, what is the problem with the waste is nothing but if you leave into the atmosphere, it will pollute the environment. Okay, see, we need to safeguard our environment. Definitely, waste we need to use it. See, I'm telling. I think government is also working on waste strategies. They are also promoting some kind of funding from their industry, such that please give a solution for this waste people. In future, I think next 5 years or 10 years down the line, maybe if you are constructing your building with a waste, you will be given a subsidy, maybe in terms of tax, maybe in terms of what in cutting off your electricity bill, what you are generating every month. Something the government is trying to promote. Actually, see, lot of waste is there, but someone has to take that waste to create some kind of for build something. Okay, so there I think definitely a lot of solutions will be coming out. And coming to the challenges, I think construction sector, it's the second biggest economy in India. Okay, but what is a kind of this sector is, I'll tell most of the forums like this. Construction sector is a one sector which is unorganized throughout the world. It's not only in India. Hope I think the experts in from the steel plant, they accept it because they see the construction every day throughout the kind of when they're walking in the industry. Okay, so I think that is a kind of industry. But if you go for any kind of sector, or if you go to any other sector, mostly it is organized. Okay, but if you go for other countries and all, the economy wise, definitely it will stay in first or second. Construction sector. Okay, definitely I think the waste is also generated a lot. I think India is having very good waste actually. Okay, but there is no management.
When you say very good waste, which means it's reusable.
No, it's a reusable product, but we are not using that one to create some kind of
Huge quantity of waste.
huge quantity
Huge
is
quantity.
yeah, waste is there. I'll tell you a best example. I think previous Olympics has been happened in Japan. Tokyo. I think maybe 8-9 years back. I think they have given the medals for the what for the silver, gold, and for the achievers and all. They have made that kind of medals by using an e-waste. Yeah, electronic waste. Where that most of the electronic waste is available, they are shipped from India to Japan. They does not have proper ways to convert that one, but they have technology. Okay, see, if you can create some kind of technology to convert the waste into a valuable product, it's very good. Okay, so I think definitely they have done that kind of aspect. We'll call it as an upcycling. Okay, there are two processes in waste. You have to do upcycling. It creates a lot of wealth. Downcycling is also good, but upcycling will give you a better kind of enhancement. If I'm using that waste, e-waste for a concrete, that is downcycling. If I'm using that e-waste for making a gold or a silver or a bronze, that is upcycling. Hope I think you understood what I'm trying to talk. Okay, so there again the product challenges will be there when we are working with waste. Then if you come to the construction sector, then definitely sustainability challenges are there in these kind of sectors. Definitely we need to concentrate on these aspects when you are working with waste. So I think if you go for a waste management challenges, okay, so I think right now the situation is something like we have a very high demand for in Andhra Pradesh or everywhere in the city, something called sand. Availability of sand is it's very very less. People are stopped the constructions in most of the places. Now we need to try to create some kind of fine aggregate material, something like sand, by using an CND waste, construction and demolition waste. That is one kind of area where a lot of opportunities are there to convert actually. So they have I think in India we have only 2 plants. Definitely they are converting the construction and demolition waste to become to make a fine aggregate or a coarse aggregate. Very very high demand is there. If you can, because the cost will be reduced, it is less than the sand, because sand is depleting nowadays in the construction. And if you go for a coarse aggregate, concrete, they will tell you, they'll use for concrete as one of the material. Okay, so they are also creating that. Actually, in Delhi we have one plant, and in I think in Gujarat one plant is there actually. So that is one opportunity. We have a high volume of construction and demolition waste. People are demolishing after 30 years, 40 years, 70 years because of to create a new kind of facility or something like that. But what is the kind of problem with the thing is nothing but we have very limited recycled infrastructure to convert a waste into a material. Okay, so there I think we are lagging. Okay, then I think we have some kind of regulatory and regulatory and other kind of issues when we are working with this. See, I think when any kind of contractor is coming, he'll be asking for something like whether this kind of material you have innovated, whether it was as per the code or not, whether we can use in the construction. Otherwise, my building will get a crack and no one will purchase my flat or house or something like that. He has that kind of issues. If you are innovating any kind of new product, it should be according to the highest standards. Okay, the government need to accept it. We have to take different certifications, processes. All these things are issues are there when we are working with the waste and all. When you can convert that one into a valuable product, actually. Then the cost of waste management. See, creating a waste is okay, but you require a barren land to dump that waste. Is it right? Okay. The land cost is cheap or more in India right now? Definitely it is increasing. It's not cheap. Okay. So how to,
Transport also.
yeah, transportation cost is there. Lot of issues are there. See, I was talking about only this construction and demolition waste. If you come to municipal solid waste, you know, Reliance, not now. I think they have 100 plants in India. Reliance have kept something like. I think we have in Madhurwada, in Marikavalsa, actually. So Reliance plant is there. They have tied up with government of like what Visakhapatnam district, Vijayanagaram district, and Srikakulam district. They are dumping the kind of municipal solid waste there. They are converting. They are using that municipal solid waste and generating electricity. Okay. But treating that kind of municipal solid waste, definitely it's a very big challenge. You require a land and all. Any kind of municipality need to dump there, actually. There is no kind of alternative. That is also one opportunity where we can work on municipal solid waste, actually. Okay. So again, any industry if you go, definitely it creates some or the other kind of waste. By see, if you go for a NTPC, okay, they are burning the coal and byproduct is fly ash or cotton ash and other kind of products are there. Okay, so it's a very costly affair. Definitely because of construction and demolition waste, it is around I think in 2027 it is around it will go up to 149.2 billion. Okay, US dollars. Okay, and the emissions which are released from the construction demolition waste, it is very high. We are polluting the environment because of we does not have a proper technology and proper investment to do into this sector. Okay, so that is one thing. Then if you really want to produce a construction products, definitely you can start off with something called making a bricks. Recently in Visakhapatnam, they have banned plastic. Not recently, they are focusing this kind of area from the long time, but now they have taken as a challenge. We can make bricks out of plastic.
Roads also being constructed.
Yeah, definitely. Roads are also constructed. I think you know I think if you go for road and all, for example, they are using this iron slag to make a pavement blocks. They are telling steel plant people, please take my waste. It is creating a lot of problem. We are unable to manage the waste. I think hope the experts will accept it. Okay, it's a really challenging area where we can make those kind of. Okay, then I think plastic can be converted into bricks. Then we have, I think, what is a kind of a standardization again. See, if you want to make any kind of brick, there is a kind of higher standard. It should be minimum 3.5 MPa. MPa means Newton per mm square. The strength has to be produced only. It will be taken into as a consideration of brick. Again, lot of durability, strength, or then it will catch the seepages. You know, in most of the kind of houses, now seepage is becoming very common. It is coming through the washrooms to the brick and it is spoiling the surface. Okay, this is a problem actually. I think if you can produce a green kind of materials, green means not the color is green, it is eco-friendly materials. We'll always tell if you can produce that one. See, always if you are using a waste to produce a material, definitely that comes under a green material. See, we are not producing that waste. It is created through manufacturing of some product to become some byproduct is coming. Okay, then we have to check the performance, how it will be there in the next 50 years, whether this product is reaching the expected kind of product with the traditional materials, like if for example like red brick or AAC block or solid concrete blocks or panels, something like that. Okay, and the innovation is definitely it's lagging in this area. Why? Because of the funding is less, research is less. To validate your product, it will take minimum 10 years. To see the performance, it will take 30 years. Maybe we'll do a lot of experiments, but industry is not accepting that one. It is taking a huge time. Yeah, these are some of the kind of challenges when we are working with the waste. Then sustainability challenges. I think we are creating lot of carbon footprint. Okay, so carbon footprint means CO2 emissions. If you take, I think steel plant people like the steel, HYSD bars, like TMT bars, all these things. I think producing of steel, it will take a huge amount of electricity. It will take huge amount of material to transport the material, all these things. Definitely, we are producing a lot of carbon footprint. If you go for a steel, if you go for a cement plants and all, they produce lot of emissions during the manufacturing of cement. Okay, so those are some of the issues. And one more sector. I think sustainability, when you look at something called energy, is also becoming one of the major kind of thing. Okay, when I talk about energy, okay, so energy is something like most of the people are working to reduce in every sector. Energy is right now a buzzword around the globe actually. If we can reduce the energy, see we are using now energy only. What air conditioning. See what is the problem with using air conditioning? We'll feel comfort, but we are polluting the environment. We are releasing CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. Now operational energy is almost all 80% of the total life cycle. If we can reduce 10%, we are saving a lot of energy. Lot of videos now they are doing why in summer season and all. Use appropriately your AC, 26 degrees only, put a fan and all. See, means everyone has to take that initiative to save some kind of point of energy. Okay, so that is one thing. And proper awareness and training should be given for the contractors and the builders. If you go for, I told you, like unorganized, the contractor will come and do it, basically. But he don't know the importance of what exactly that material will do, will perform for the future. Okay, it should be there, organized at every level. Okay. Then come to my product innovation. Okay, so in my PhD, I worked on, I think Divakar sir told, I worked with ceramic tile dust actually. Okay. So and fly ash as well as GGBS. I have taken from steel plant only, sir, for my research actually. So I think cement is, I told you, cement is something like it has a higher embodied energy. It is something like it releases lot of carbon footprint during the manufacturing process. So in my research, I have eliminated cement. I have used only fly ash, GGBS and ceramic tile dust to make my product. I worked on something called blocks. Okay, by using an industrial waste actually. Okay, so what is my idea of choosing this research is something like I want to produce something like energy efficient material. Energy efficient material means I think heat can be transmitted in two ways. One is through roof, one is through walls actually. Okay, so you can control the indoor environment, but you cannot control the outdoor environment like atmosphere. So for that, the rate of heat transmission from outside to inside, if it is less, definitely we'll use air conditioning less. Hope you understood. Okay, so that is my objective of taking my research in that kind of aspect. So I want to produce a thermally efficient insulator. Okay, see, these are insulators only actually. But what is the problem with the insulator is very costly. But I want to produce a brick which acts like an insulator, but it is very durable also.
Cheap also. It should be cheap also.
Yeah, cheap also. Right. That is my objective actually. It should be cheap. It should be insulated. Thermal. I think if you use AC for 2 hours, the cooling has to withstand for 4 hours. That is my objective. Where I am reducing the power indirectly. Okay, this is my idea behind my research actually. Okay, so I think I have developed by using an industrial waste, and definitely by using that waste, I was making sustainability towards environment. Okay, so what is sustainability means? Since I'm using the waste to make a product, it is sustainability point of. If I'm saving of energy, that is also a point of sustainability. Okay. So I think if you go for something called energy consumption patterns in India is expected to definitely increase day by day. If you see the definitely government is increasing our unit rate every 2-3 years down the line. There is no control. Previously we used to get a current bill around 500. Now it is went up to 2000. If you have 2 phases, 4000 minimum. Okay. So they are not compromising on comfort right now. Okay. So definitely, if you take the annual consumptions changes in the building energy sector from 2015 to 40, if you take something like India, it is around consuming around 2.7%. Okay, if you go for China, is consuming less. If you go for Russia, it is only 0.3. Okay, because they are concentrating more on renewable energy rather than the non-renewable energy. In India, I think we use 60 to 70% is renewable energy. Sorry, non-renewable energy. Okay, so that is one thing. We comes under non-OECD country. What are OECD countries means? It is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So the members are something like South Africa, South Korea, then Europe and United States. You see, United States is 0.1%. Okay, so definitely consumption is becoming high. So definitely there is a requirement to decrease the energy in every sector.
Yet population is less.
Yeah, we are comparing not in terms of population, sir, in terms
Average.
of consumption.
Average means very
Average annual change in building.
Change in building sector. Okay, so I have developed by using instead of cement, I think I have used alkali activated like sodium silicate and sodium hydroxide. I think what is the problem with the fly ash and GGBS is something like they cannot get hydrated when water is added to the industrial waste. So to activate my product to become strength, okay, I have used this alkali activated materials. I think if you go for a fly ash or GGBS, every product is having lot of silica and alumina content. It is in amorphous nature. Amorphous means in reactive nature. Okay, so this is a kind of schematic diagram how I developed my product. So solids like binary materials like fly ash, GGBS and ceramic tile dust I have taken from the industry. And I've used something like a liquid to add into the instead of water I'm adding this sodium silicate and sodium hydroxide. It is combined to form as a binder, then it is setted and hardened. So I think they'll do water curing for a buildings. Okay, once the concrete is done for a building, they'll do water to remove the hydration to remove the heat from the material. But in my kind of material, I will not do any water curing. It is atmospheric curing, where I'm saving the water also. Okay, so that is one aspect of going. And what are the advantages of using this new technology? Something like I'm producing low carbon emissions, then it has a better service life compared to traditional materials like red bricks or fly ash bricks or AAC blocks. Then I'm reducing the global warming potential, CO2 emissions, and protecting the environment. So it is a virgin material, definitely, and it is utilization of industrial waste. It is one of the advantage. I told you, if you leave the waste into the atmosphere, it is polluting the environment. If you are using the material, it is positive towards the environment. If you take the overall life cycle cost is also reduced. Okay, I told you, if life cycle cost is something like, if you take a building, the initial cost of the construction is only 20%, but operational cost is 80%, right? The people are concentrating on how to reduce the operational cost, not on the initial cost of it. Both are important, but comparatively operational cost is 80%. Okay, so I think this is my product what I've developed in my laboratory in Geetham University. So it's a very less white material. It has a voids inside. Because of that, heat will be transmitted very less and slow actually. So these are the physical tests what I have done, physical, mechanical, as well as thermal properties. So I have worked on, most of the people will work on only on the strength and durability, but I worked on the thermal properties like thermal conductivity, because thermal conductivity is related to heat. Heat transmission, how it is done in a building is definitely reflecting the energy consumption actually. Okay. So then I have modeled my developed blocks and I've done simulation studies for Visakhapatnam climate. Actually, how this kind of material, how it is responding for our weather conditions. So I think if you go for Visakhapatnam, we comes under the coastal regions. That's why it is called as a warm and humid climate. We come under. India is having different climatic zones. There are 5 climatic zones, but our climate is warm and humid. If you go for Delhi, it is a composite climate. If you go for Srinagar, it is a cold climate. If you go for Rajasthan, it is a hot climate, hot and dry climate. Okay, so based on our climatic conditions, definitely we have to make a brick which has a lesser energy consumption also. That is the idea of my research. So definitely compared to my red bricks, my energy consumptions of developed bricks has been reduced significantly, and my power bills also significantly has been reduced compared to my product. So I think what is the final conclusion is nothing but, so I was using a locally available materials to develop my product. Definitely it is a kind of solving the issue of the waste generation problem. That is one thing. And another aspect is something like I have to reduce the energy also of an occupant. So that also can be reduced by using a waste management by developing a sustainable brick. And this prototype of brick is definitely I validated this kind of material, and it is a sustainable and thermally efficient material. Definitely it can be commercially used now in the coming days actually. So for that I need to get certification from the Green Pro actually. So it is a kind of organization which will be get certified for this product, and as well as we can get from the BAS standard, Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, these are my publications what I produced. I produced my patent also in this area. I think in 23 my patent got published, and last week I got something like a very good news that this is going for the grant. Once I get the grant, now I commercialize my patent for industries. So it is my journey is something like I want to become an entrepreneur after my PhD. So I was there in right now. So I think lot of researchers are coming in this area where we can think on this kind of dimension. So I got a funding for my research from the Geetham. Since I was developing an innovative kind of product. Definitely this kind of product can be going into a higher scale. And these are some of the photographs of my product which I have done in the laboratory. And one more aspect, like I think everyone know about the sustainable development goals. They are 17. So my research is resembling SDG 7, that is related to affordable and clean energy, because I have reduced the cost of the brick also 50% compared to a red brick actually. So that is one aspect. Then I think ninth is related to infrastructure. I am definitely moving towards protecting or using the waste material to build the infrastructure. Then SDG 11 is something like sustainable cities. I think sustainable cities main concept is reduce energy. Okay, so it is a sustainable product. Then SDG 13 is nothing but climate action. If I'm leaving the waste into the atmosphere, it is polluting. So now I'm using that kind of material to develop a product. It is related to sustainable development goals. Okay, so I think this is a kind of central government scheme. I think you know about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. I think Modi is working towards an affordable housing. I think housing should be given for every kind of people. So I think how the cost can be varying. Means nowadays they want to construct a house within something like 1 week, a G+2. That is possible by using a new technologies called 3D printing. Lot of aspects are coming like the panel, modular constructions, all these things. Yeah, these are some of the kind of engineer opportunities. What kind of waste you are choosing, it should be potentially used for the developing a building product or not, you have to check. So I think you have to choose what is a kind of idea of using that waste to make a business model. So what you have to do the market study whether that kind of waste is available in a lot. Okay, if you take fly ash, it is available in a lot. If you take bottom ash, it is very, very less like that. I think you have to think about the waste which is available in a lot. Okay, so then I think you have to do physical research on these areas. And after you make a product, definitely you have to get certified from the BAS as well as Green Pro certified standards, whether your product is qualified and pass it through all the kind of stages. Otherwise, most of the contractors or the construction stakeholders will not accept your product actually. And you have to provide a brand called sustainability. Just now I told you, my kind of research is related to sustainable development goals. So I was working towards protecting my environment, protecting my society in terms of reducing the energy as well as waste. And the government schemes are also definitely available. I told you just now in the starting, if you're constructing your house with a waste, definitely government want to give some subsidy for you in terms of reducing the tax. You'll pay no house tax can be reduced or electricity bill can be reduced. It all you have to show the proof. You know, I think in Visakhapatnam also we have something called recycle units. If you give the waste to them, they'll give one certification. I think recently in YouTube also I've listened. If you give an AC which is in working condition, the government want to pay 60% of it, but you have to use a 5-star AC. Since if you are using a 3-star AC, okay, if you want to purchase a 5-star, from the purchase product you can get 60% off. Means government is also clean about sustainability. Okay, so this is, I think you have to scale your product. So I think what is the main problem with the waste is nothing but it is not consistent. Means some waste is very good, some waste is not good. It is all depends upon the raw material. So if your raw material is very good, for example, the waste generation will be less. If your raw material is less quality, then your waste will be produced very high. So you need to think everything on the scale and how you have to use the product. Okay, so that innovation will give you a better kind of insight for the society. Thank you.
So did you compare your product with other competing bricks? There must be others doing similar work.
Yeah. I mean, I think by using ceramic tile dust in India, I was the first one I was using.
Okay, with ceramic tiles, that's great. But there are like, for example, grain jars.
Yeah, grain jar. They are using agricultural waste.
Agricultural waste. So how do this compare to that?
Yeah, so I think they are also working on a similar area, but they have got a patent and they are get certified through different organizations. Okay, so right now I was in a process of moving in the direction. Means to get a
No,
certified.
since you went through the tests and all.
Yeah, it is durable.
So if let's say I'm a constructor or I'm a builder, I'm looking at options instead of clay bricks. How would I great resources for green gems?
Yeah, so I think what is the problem with my kind of waste is something like it is ceramic tile dust industries are very less if you take in Andhra. Okay, but his product is agricultural waste. Agricultural kind of thing is locally available. He can easily purchase. Okay, that is one aspect because see, I think why China is very popular in producing a lesser cost good is nothing but they have very good raw material and they have innovation. But here the problem is getting the raw material and right material to make a product is challenging.
How much cheaper it is, your product, when compared to the standard oil?
It is almost all 30% cost savings compared to red brick.
Yes.
So first question is, what about the afterlife of this particular product? I mean, is it recyclable or is it just?
Yeah,
once it is-
recyclable.
It
It's
is?
recyclable. Yeah. So it is a concept of circular economy.
Second thing is, as you mentioned about the green giant brick.
Yeah.
Okay. So it actually doesn't need a plastering.
Yeah, it does.
Does this? It doesn't need.
Yeah, it doesn't. But this need a plastic.
This needs
But
plastering.
50% can be replaced. If you go for an external plastic,
So
for
that
example,
plastering is again bringing in concrete. I mean, the cement
Yeah.
getting into the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
So how would you call this as a more green product? Because it is.
yeah, I'm telling my product. Green, why it is called as a green product is why because of I'm using the waste and constructing. I'm calling in that kind of direction as a green product. If you are
But
using
so-
any waste to
so
construct
your
it,
competitor is not green jam but a red brick.
yeah, correct. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Are we
Yeah,
done with
okay.
questions? One question. Did you approach any entrepreneurs? Did you talk
No.
to anybody about building a company around this?
Yeah, I was in a talk, but I was going through the certification
Right.
process. First, I have to convince. I have to once I get the grant and all, then I'll go for this Green Pro certification. All these things.
You want to do it by yourself? You want to start your own company?
I'm looking for the investors also, actually. So more or less, I was working in that. Thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil. That was really interesting and lots of potential there. Now, I didn't hear from anybody wanting to pitch for today's session. So there were no startup pitches, no idea pitches. Just as I know. Okay, so the next segment. Anybody has any ideas you want to share? It's open mic. Anybody wants to share any thoughts? Excuse me, go ahead. You can come on up here or we can start speaking there. We don't have a functioning
Yeah, I can speak loud.
mobile mic.
I mean,
Actually,
just a,
can you go this? Because it's being live transferred.
okay.
Yeah, there is a video recording, so
Okay.
you want to come up here?
I can start. So I just came back from US recently, so I'm looking around for opportunities. So something that came to my mind was right now there are multiple service companies around India like Zomato or anything, Amazon. So one thing that was like coming to gym or any fitness thing, right? Many people, especially in the cadet communities or any upscale communities, they're looking for personal trainers, but the only way to find them was through personal contacts or friends or so. There is no proper website or anything that links the trainers to the clients or the customers. So I thought, why can't we build one using that idea, where you can connect all the trainers who are struggling to find their clients, and we're gonna put their profile, certifications they have, and the clients they served before, and the rate we can provide the ratings for them, and the clients can see their background and have some verification of them, and then they can get them as a service for a month or 2 months or 3 months based on their needs. So it's more like a corporate still you can create more instead of having like a general thing. So I thought this can be an idea, but I don't know if it's already one in India or someone is looking for it. There's already someone built it. So I know there will be multiple challenges on this, where many clients will like to pay by cash instead of paying through the app or something. But also I've seen a problem statement where many of the gym trainers, like they just get the client initially, they pay for the first 1 month or 2 months, and then the client will not pay on time, or they just try to avoid him, or try to pay him later, or pay him half or not full. So even the gym trainers are facing the difficulty to get the money from the banks because they can't go after them every time. Right? So there's a problem here which can be solved to some extent, but I don't know if this is a real problem or not. So I just want to get some feedback from you guys.
Is it only meant for gym trainer?
No, it can be
Or
expanded
any
like
service?
any service, like any coaching service. I would be like any like tennis, any shuttle, any sports, any gym, personal training, yoga, meditation. Instead of online, I want because I think in online I think there are multiple sites I would be especially meditation yoga. Because I don't think there is anything in person or anything like that. So I don't know if there is one.
Food for thought. Food for thought. Many of us probably feel like I know something, but I don't know what it is.
Because we have certain services like this, not as a gym trainer, at least I haven't come across. But then in the case I want to get a massage done, I click on Urban Community.
Yeah, true.
So maybe this would be an additional service in the Urban Community.
Recently, on my service at Vijayawada, they are doing
The same thing.
all types of services. Many types of services.
I see.
My service.
Phone problems.
Plumber.
Yeah, I've seen most.
All
Yeah,
services.
they all
I have also a lot of things.
Yeah, Vijay also.
Specific to
Urban Club కూడా
gym trainers kind of
At
thing.
least we haven't come across.
Yeah. No, I've seen a urban cab or anything. They're more focused on the household chores or
Yeah.
household things. But nothing in
We
specific.
have added quite a number of services. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Couple of companies like
Yeah, true.
Plus, like,
Escrow.
this will be something like the massage. But then
Yeah.
these are like because it's a personal training and all, it will be a slot, maybe in the early hours or
Yeah.
it is time specific.
Yeah, I believe this can be tested in tier 1 cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, because the paying population is more in those areas. I believe. And coming to Vizag, I think as a mom or kind of sports or anything for children, we would actually look out for those activities and where is the particular trainer.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you can niche down to that area and then spread it out.
Like for example, right, if you have kids around 3 to 5 years who are looking for swimming or something,
Yeah.
you might look for someone who is certified, who has some background that you can check.
And
check it
somebody
out.
who is reliable,
Yeah,
because
the trust factor as well.
now it's always WhatsApp groups
Yeah.
where moms are together, so we exchange information like where is this
Yeah.
trainer, we want to get our child enrolled into this, do you know a personal trainer or something like that. So maybe that can be vetted out.
India runs on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
The way that you about money and the trainers not getting paid, and some of them talking directly to one another. One way to protect yourself could be that you could act as an escrow service. You take the money, keep it with you ahead of time, and you give it out once the service is provided. If it's not provided, or if the person is not paying, you pay out of there. So that way, there's a little bit extra that I getting
But whom
charged.
they get the money from? Whom they get the money from?
from the person
That's
availing
from
the
client,
service.
but people are not willing to pay in advance. So they want to get the service for first few days and then see if it works out, and then we try to.
Yeah, if you feel that that is the case, then that's, but
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Well,
But you
something
need-
to think about.
Yeah.
There's some challenges there to think
Yeah,
about, and
yeah. There's
we
also
can't fix them all today, but we will.
any mentorship, anything, any other.
Sure, please keep
Yeah.
attending and engaging with the crowd and networking, and we will find somebody or the other who's interested in want to work with you.
Thanks.
Sure, thank you. Any other ideas you want to share? Anybody else wants to share any thoughts? All right. Seeing none, let's move ahead. We hope you enjoyed the session. Here is a way to tell us how you can do this better, how we can do this better. Please take time and answer the short survey. This show is sponsored by Andhra University Incubation Council in partnership with several entities. It is run by volunteers. Show Me the Money is brought to you by Charita, a second-year MBA student at the Department of Commerce and Management Studies at AU. Show notes are done by Srivani, who is business analyst with VILS AI. Wheels AI? Wheels AI. Technical support is provided by Pranav, a fourth-year student in computer science and systems engineering at AU. Mr. Srinivas Savram and I, Srinivas is Executive Director, Ty Vizag, and myself curate the show. There is obviously more to this effort than that meets the eye. This is a labor of love, and we will continue to improve on what our predecessors built. Support is always needed. If you want to engage with organizing the show and adding to it, please contact me. Now, Srinivas, please take over for the announcements of upcoming events and happenings. And we will likely close the show.
ahead of time.
And all the announcements that you want up there are not on the slides because I saw your text right before I got here. So you go ahead and speak, and I will try to manage this here. Next one is workshops.
Thank you. As a part of the mentoring support, there are lots of things that happen at AHUB and through the different organizations that we are a part of. One of the challenges that most people face when they're trying to start a company or while running a company is having somebody that they can talk to. And also for students, especially in early stage entrepreneurs, they have an idea, they have a great solution, but don't know how to actually make that idea work, turn it into a business. And so last year we did a series of 8 workshops on topics starting from how do you come up with an idea, how do you validate the idea, how do you find solutions for that, what about the finances, how do you do your market research, and in between the prototyping, and then building a team, putting a team together, pitching it in front of investors, everything from start till holding your hands to help you get started. And even while doing that, what kind of a company should you be forming? Should it be are you talking about an individual, are you talking about co-founders, are you talking about a private limited company, an LLP, or are you talking about a one-person company? So many other options that are there. We have been faced with some difficulties in getting through the March and April workshops. So what we are doing is that what you see there, building a team and culture and managing marketing and sales, we're going to put that into the financial planning and projections on the 27th and 28th. And most likely, we're actually going to with Shalini and Divakar's permission, we're most likely going to do that as a 3-day program, 27th, 28th, and 29th of May, so that we cover all the different aspects. Now, this is something that is free for people who are members of TIE and for students of institutions that are member institutions. Not sure about AU, but Geetham has been a member, VTP and others have been members. So since they will continue, 10 students from there will be I love the otherwise for students it's heavily subsidized. This is 1500 rupees for 2 days. We keep it at that or maybe increase it to 2250 for 3 days. But most likely it's going to stay at about 250 to 300 rupees for anybody who's a student. And if we talk to Ravi, he'll most probably make it free. So just talk to us if you're a student. Yeah, since the past, since November of 2022, we have been running a hackathon and under the brand of HackAP Hackathons. And instead of hackathons being completely IT, I am saying a few more things that some of the regulars already know, but people who are here for the first time need to know. That's why I'm explaining it a little bit more. For the HackAP hackathons, very early on by January of 2023, we decided that it cannot be just IT, and we decided to move into many other areas. In terms of hackathons, we've done hackathons on everything of design, electric vehicles, renewable energy, arts and culture, tribal welfare, power distribution. There was one transportation and logistics, and the last one that we did in, I think I know which date is what it is. I think 19th of March was the final, but we did one on ChemTech. The one that's coming up now is on the 25th of May, and this is going to be on life sciences. So anybody in the life sciences field that would like to participate, by the way, this is open to all. It's free, and students from usually we get a majority of students, but we welcome startups. We welcome people who have been working in the industry for a very long time also to be participants in the hackathon. And we also get students who are 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th graders from a couple of schools which have adult tinkering labs, and they do exceptionally well. They give very good competition to everybody. So if you know somebody who is in the life sciences and would like to participate, please share the news. If you are in the life sciences, of course, we would love for you to participate. We do these Startup Saturdays where we are running everything through. These Startup Saturdays happen on the first and third Saturday of every month. We invite speakers to come and talk about things that they are good at. Either they are innovating on something or they are. So one of the things that we are trying to do is basically do a demo day session, which is give an opportunity for innovators to present their innovations, startups to present whatever they're doing. And we're talking about prototypes. We would love to have your bricks be one of those things that is going to come up on the 21st of June. There's a selection process that is going to happen, and the format is that we'll start at 2 o'clock. 2 to 2:30 will be people walking through and talk meeting and so on. 2:30 to 3:30 will be a session, a pitching session simultaneously, where 5 shortlisted teams are going to be given a chance to pitch their ideas. We will have mentors, we'll have investors, and of course we'll have other startups. Maybe you can find co-founders in there. And followed by that, we have a quick networking session, half an hour of then somebody talking about a topic that is useful to entrepreneurs. Like last time when we did the demo days in March, we had a speaker talk about how to pitch, because that seems to be the biggest challenge that most people are facing whenever they come here. And we normally I would have expected a rush of people to come and say, I want to pitch, but interestingly, we don't get too many of that. We want to give that opportunity we'll do this every quarter until we build it into a much larger full day demo day. The idea is to get all the institutions, all the startups, all the early stage entrepreneurs to come together and showcase Vishakhapatnam in this region as a place where innovations happen. We do have a group that, a community that we are building for innovation. We, talking about sustainability, we have a community related to sustainability that we started as a part of the Thai chapter. She can tell you more about that. So far we've talked theory, now we need to start implementing some of those things. We have another community for design, primarily IT.
That's UX. I have that open.
Then we'll talk about this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, one of the challenges that a lot of students as well as some early stage faculty members experience is, research. How do we do research? What do we do as a research topic? What can we talk about in terms of research? How do we go about it? They are lost, and while we don't have enough, we haven't done enough market research. I'll be honest, to admit that. So I don't know how big the problem is, but we do know that this is a problem. And while there are people who have published papers, there are lots of people who have not done that, but would feel happy to publish one if they only had a community which would guide them. So we have started this series every Monday, 5 o'clock. We meet for 1 hour, and it's not a classroom. Nobody is giving speeches, nobody is teaching anything. They are just sharing ideas on this is the difficulty that I had, and this is how I picked my research topic, and this is how long it took. Because there are people who are coming to these meetings and saying, I started working on something, and I will finish my research in about 4 weeks, and I'll be ready to publish my paper. And having been on that side, I wish things were that easy and research can be publish a paper every month, but that's not what the reality is. So we do this. Divakar, Professor Ravikir and a bunch of others are there. We would welcome other people who are into research to come and join in and participate in the discussions whenever possible. What I was telling you a minute ago, we have a community that we are building on design. So our design meetup happens every fortnight on Thursdays, and please forgive the date. That's wrong. That is not the date. The next one that's coming up is next Thursday. Thursday again at the Aham, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. If you scan the QR code, you will be able to register and you'll get a message. So that's that. Then yeah. Yeah, so TIE is a non-profit for entrepreneurs and by entrepreneurs. TIE stands for the Indus Entrepreneurs Institute. It is a global organization, and there are a bunch of things that we do. Please can and follow any of the channels that are there for you to learn more. But 2-3 quick things that I want to mention. There is a TIE Young Entrepreneurs program for high schoolers, 9th to 12th grade students, and they get to participate in a global pitching competition. That's this time is happening on the 19th or 20th of June in Delhi, New Delhi, and Washington DC simultaneously, and there will be a global competition on both sides. We have one batch of students that are already a part of this program. We are trying to do a summer camp batch starting from Monday with 28 students, maybe 30 students, 32 max, of course, but maybe we'll have 28. And there's a chapter finals that's going to happen on the 18th of May. So before before that happens, these people will be trained on different aspects of. The idea is to introduce youngsters to entrepreneurship so that by the time they get out of school and get into college, they've already heard about entrepreneurship and they know quite a bit. So, whatever struggles that college students are facing once they go into college and then they're told, oh, by the way, you can be an entrepreneur also. And by that time, in many cases, their curiosity and their ability to be creative is killed. In schools, we believe that that is not yet killed, so therefore, if we are able to, or at least suppress, we are able to do something about it. So that TYE program is going to go on from Monday, this coming Monday, day after tomorrow, till the following Tuesday, 8 days, Monday to Saturday and then Monday, Tuesday. And as I said, and it's a paid program. You have to pay, every student has to pay 5,900, including GST. The next one is university students, colleges, universities, postgraduate, PhD students, or anybody who's graduated but within the past 2 years is eligible for something called a TIU program, a TIU University program. A TIU is for students startups. This year there are two programs, two tracks that are being run. One is for one is for pre-revenue and another one is for revenue. Because there are some student startups across the globe that are making lots of money. They're already making $10,000, $50,000. They got grants or they've got investments which are anywhere from 100,000 to $500,000. And somebody from, let's say, Visakhapatnam, in a small college or a big university, trying to participate with them is a huge challenge. So what we are doing in TIE Global is basically say, if you have revenue, then you're going to participate in one track. If you are pre-revenue, you have an idea, you started, you have a proof of concept, and now you want to go forward with that, there is another track. So both people will be allowed to participate. The TIU program is active. The startups need to register by the 31st of May. We'll try to get that extended. And before I end with this, I'm going to be slaughtered, butchered, all kinds of things if I don't mention that obviously with all of this happening and TIE being for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs, there is a TIE women program. And
No one will even.
yeah, exactly. So, and that too with her sitting right there, glaring at me. I have to be very careful. So the TIE Women program is open to all women owned enterprises. Women need to have at least 33% stake in the company. And this year we've also decided that there are lots of people who try to take advantage of women owned enterprises by putting their mother or sister or somebody's wife's name, and then they're running the enterprise and trying to get the benefits out of it. So we are going to reject that, and we're going to allow enterprises that are run by women, or at least they have a say in however things are running. So if you as women have something that you have created and you are trying to run that, please register for the TIE Women program. Whatever you want to know, Shalini is right here and she'll be happy to share all the details about the TIE Women program with you and how that's going to benefit you. Both the TIE Women program and the TIU, in addition to sessions that happen to train you, in addition to getting mentors for you, there is a global competition that's going to happen at something called the TIE Global Summit that happens once every year. Last year it happened in December in Bangalore, and this year it's going to happen in Jaipur, Rajasthan. And the winners of the chapter finals from Visakhapatnam, TIE Vizag, from both the TIU and the TIE Women, will be able to go and compete at the global level in Rajasthan, Jaipur, at the TIE Global Summit with lots of people, at least 5,000 people, could be anywhere from 15 to 40,000 people attending, depending on where it's being run and how many people are attracted. So it's definitely a forum and lots of prize money also, especially for the women. And of course, investors are looking at how do I, which company do I invest in? So that's also there. And we're out there.
Done?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're not already on the WhatsApp group for Startup Saturdays, you can scan this and join. This is strictly monitored, so no good morning, good evening, happy birthday messages. We will delete them immediately and we will track you down to your home. So you can follow us, like us, subscribe to all social media channels. Our next session of Startup Saturdays will be on May 17th. In half an hour, we will have been there, done that. Conversation with Ms. Maithili, a young scientist who just filed for a patent for 3D printing stem cells from menstrual blood. It is going to be a fantastic conversation. If you want to stick around, it will be right here in the same hall at 6 o'clock. Thank you all for another wonderful session. Let us gather for a group picture. Please come to the front here. Please come on up. Let's get a picture and we'll be done. We'll be done for now.